What's good? It's a Stream Caution. Today I'm going to go over my official WWE Evolution review. Gonna go over every match on the card, what I think of every single match, how good I think every match was, what I think can lead after each and every match, what I can think of the potential feuds leading after each match. If you like daily wrestling content, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe because I upload daily wrestling content. So if you enjoy daily wrestling content, make sure you subscribe to the channel, make sure you share, like, and comment. Then go ahead and jump straight into the review. First match we start off with, the opening match is Bayley versus Lyra Valkyria versus Becky Lynch for the Women's Intercontinental Championship match. This match was an absolute banger. This match would have been match of the night if it wasn't for the main event, but this match was an absolute banger. This is arguably the best match of the Women's Intercontinental Championship since it existed. Really, the only match is really rivaling is the Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria match at Backlash, but this match was absolutely great. I love that this match stuck to the three of the women just constantly fighting in the ring for the most part, because sometimes with triple threat matches they have this moment where it's just a one-on-one match and then they just flip-flop between the three members of which one is going to be a one-on-one. But they actually made this into a true triple threat match where all three women are constantly in the ring fighting each other, constantly counting each other's moves. I really enjoyed this match. But towards the end of the match, you get a rose plant from Bayley. Bayley goes for a pin on Lyra, and then you get Becky Lynch ends up rolling up Bayley while she was pinning Lyra to pick up the victory. I like what they did here. This was great. The only criticism I really have is more of a nitpick. This match was such a banger that it should have went longer. I really wanted this match to go like an extra like 10 minutes. Like this match, I think this match went like probably like 15-ish minutes, but this match was a banger, bro. Like I wish it would have went longer because this match was really cooking. Like this match was so great. This match could have arguably been the best match of one of the best matches of the year in WWE in general, but this match is still up there in terms of one of the best matches of the year. But man, if they would have went like another 10 minutes, bro, this could have been on par with the main event, in my opinion. Like, that's how great this match was. This match was absolute cooking. Love the Becky Lynch retain. She was my pick. I think it makes the most sense here, especially because I think this is going to definitely lead to SummerSlam. Very interested to see who will win that matchup, depending on the build, because I can see Bayley winning it. I think mainly the main story is Lyra regaining the Women's Intercontinental Championship, make her go on a chase and eventually reclaim the thing that she should have never lost. So I think that's the story that they're going to tell her. But this was a banger match, and I can't wait to see what happens next with this entire feud. Now we got the Women's NXT Championship match between Jordynne Grace versus Jacy Jayne for the NXT Women's Championship. This match was also really good. I really enjoyed this match. This match actually surprised me. Well, it surprised me definitely due to the ending of this match, because this was one of the matches I was the most fearful of, because I thought that they was potentially putting the title on Jordynne Grace. But this match really shocked me. You end up getting interferences, of course, of Fatal Influence. It was a moment where Blake Monroe ended up taking out all the members of Fatal Influence. But towards the end of the match, you end up getting a moment where she took out all the members of Fatal Influence. She ends up grabbing the championship belt because Jasmine Nix had it, but she ends up hitting like a clothesline on her, grabbing the championship belt from her. Then we get a moment where Jacy Jayne throws Jordynne Grace towards the ring, towards the ropes, and Blake Monroe ends up hitting Jordynne Grace with the NXT Women's Championship belt, which allowed Jacy Jayne to pick up the victory. She ends up taking advantage of that, which was very surprising. So Blake Monroe turns heel, allows Jacy Jayne to pick up the victory, and I already love it because I've been saying for the longest time that I love Blake Monroe, but she's just a heel. She is a natural heel. She just comes off more as a natural heel. And I'm not saying she can't be a great babyface, because she probably can be a great babyface, but bro, she's very similar to this is one of the rare cases where I actually agree with the Tiffany Stratton comparisons. She's just more natural as a heel. Her as a babyface, it's just not, it just don't come off as right. She's just a natural heel. She just comes off way more natural as a heel. Her gimmick just fits naturally as a heel. I love it. Now, I don't know what this leads with Jacy Jayne and Blake Monroe, because Jacy Jayne did take out Blake Monroe. So I'm very interested to see how they're going to tell that story. But Jordynne Grace and a Blake Monroe feud is perfect. And plus, NXT has been needing a non-women's title feud for a minute now, because majority of the main feuds has really just been about the title. They've been needing like a feud outside of that, and they've been looking for it for a while now. They've been trying it with Jada Parker and Thea Hale and all of them. So this can really take over as like a main feud on NXT without the title, which I'm very excited about. So I'm very interested to see how that plays out. And then we still got Jacy Jayne, who has been doing great work as NXT Women's Champion. I know a lot of people don't like Jacy Jayne for whatever reason. I really don't know why. The Jacy Jayne hate is very weird, because none of you guys was hating on Jacy Jayne until she won the championship, so I don't really understand where this hate is coming from. But she has been doing great work as champion. Now we just gotta be concerned about her Slammiversary match because she has a match for the TNA Knockouts Women's Championship match for the Knockouts TNA Women's Championship, and it's a title for this title match. So hopefully she wins that because I want Jacy Jayne to continue this reign because her reign has been great so far. Now we got the women's tag team championship match between the Kabuki Warriors, Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, Roxanne Perez, and Raquel, and Sol Ruca and Zarya. This match was really good. Really enjoyed this match. Very shocking. I really thought Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss was going to win this match. I thought they was going to skyrocket them and just put the titles on them. But they actually had Raquel and Roxanne picked up the victory. Very shocking that two people who are completely useless was actually useful in this match somehow. Very shocking. But it was some cool spots. It was towards the end of the match, we ended up getting a spot where Sol Ruca ended up, Zarya ended up accidentally spearing Sol Ruca when Charlotte Flair ended up making the save. She was trying to spear, I think she was trying to spear Alexa Bliss, if I'm not mistaken. But Charlotte ends up pushing Alexa Bliss out the way. That's allowed Zarya to end up spearing Sol Ruca. And then there was another one where Sol Ruca ends up hitting a crazy soul snatcher on Charlotte Flair. Very shocked that Charlotte Flair took a soul snatcher. Very surprised by that. But Roxanne and Raquel picked up the victory, which I did like, and that's who I wanted to win, because if you're going to tell this Judgment Day storyline, I kind of think you need them to stay tag team champions. I think, like, you can't have them lose, especially because most likely Liv Morgan is going to come back as a babyface. If you want her to have babyface sympathetic, babyface feel, you kind of need Roxanne to be the champion here and not have them lose these titles, because you want Roxanne to feel important to the Judgment Day, because if you just have them lose, it just makes Roxanne feel more like a loser, and her being in the Judgment Day just feels like a non-factor, in my opinion. So I like what they did here. This continue the story of the Judgment Day, and this could potentially continue the story of Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. This could cause friction, or they could continue, slowly building their friendship throughout this as well. So very interested to see how this all plays out. All right, now we get the WWE Women's Championship match between Tiffany Stratton versus Trish Stratus. Not going to really go that in depth on this match. The match was good. I enjoyed it. Tiffany Stratton retains. I don't really need to go that in depth on this match. I didn't care for this match to begin with. It was a good match, but that's all it was. It was a good, solid match. Like, it was entertaining, but I'm not gonna act like it was some more in-depth story. There's nowhere where this can go, because this was just a filler feud. So there's really nowhere for this to go, really. There's no long-term plan. This was just to elevate Tiffany Stratton to say that she beat a legend. And that's really it. I don't really have much to say. Tiffany Stratton is still your WWE's Women's Champion. Now we got a no-holds-barred match between Naomi versus Jade Cargill. This match actually impressed me. I actually thought this match was not going to be as good as it was. I didn't think it was going to be bad, but this match was actually great. I actually thought this was a great, fun, entertaining match with Bianca Belair as the special guest referee. Now, Bianca didn't have much of an involvement in this match as I thought she would, but I kind of liked that she didn't have much involvement in this match. But this was a surprisingly great match. We had some very cool spots. We had one spot where Naomi ends up doing like a drop kick by the announce table, and they end up like breaking one of the TV monitors, like smoke ended up coming out, which I thought was very cool. But we do get towards the end of the match where Naomi has Jade Cargill on a table, and she's about to go on the top rope, and she's taking a while to go on the top rope. Jade ends up recovering. She ends up attacking Naomi, ends up hitting her finisher, Jaded, on the table to pick up the victory. Makes perfect sense. She has a SummerSlam match. It makes no sense for her to lose. But Naomi looked very strong in this match. For a majority of this match, Naomi was on the offense. Jade was on the defensive end on this entire match. For the most part, Jade was the one getting beat up in this match, which I really liked because it made Naomi actually felt like a credible threat. It made Naomi actually felt strong. And it was points in this match where I was like, they could low-key have her win. Now, I didn't think she was going to win, but it was moments where I was like, I could low-key see the vision of her actually winning this match. I like what they did here. This was very great, especially to what they ended up doing in the main event. It definitely made up for it. So this was a really great match, and I really enjoyed what they did here. We get the Women's Battle Royal. Winner of this match gets a title shot at Clash at Paris. I don't know if they get to choose who they get to fight, or it's on their brands, but this match was really good. This is actually one of the best Battle Royals I have seen probably ever, to be honest. This was a very entertaining Battle Royal. The ending was very shocking. We had one cool spot where Kalani Jordan ends up doing like a Kobe Kingston type moment where she ends up saving herself. She ends up getting knocked out, but her feet didn't touch the ground. She ends up using her gymnastic skills to get back in the ring, which I thought was very sick. One of the most shocking things of the night was Nikki Bella getting eliminated before the final. I thought Nikki Bella was clearly going to be in the final three. Thank God she wasn't, because that was one of my fears of this match, was Nikki Bella winning this match. I was like, please do not put Nikki Bella in the main event scene. I'm fine with Legends returning, even though I'm not the biggest fan of Legends returning. I don't get what fans' obsession with seeing Legends return. Me personally, I'm just like, look, it's cool if they return, but I'm more about the present and the future than the past. It's like, I kind of, me personally, I'm like, if I wanted to see the past, I just watch their old matches. I don't need to see them now trying to fight, relive the glory days. That's just me personally. But thank God that she wasn't in the final three, and that thank God she didn't win this match. But she ends up getting eliminated by Lash Legend of all people, which was very shocking. The final three ended up coming down to Stephanie Vicker, Nia Jax, and Lash Legend, which I did enjoy. Lash Legend was actually in the final two between her and Stephanie Vicker, was very shocking because I did not think they was going to have an NXT talent be one of the last two remaining. But Stephanie Vicker ends up hitting her with the Devil's Kiss to pick up the victory. So she will be going to Clash at Paris, facing whatever champion. I don't know if she chooses the champion or is on the respective brand, but whoever she chooses or wherever she faces, I know the match is going to be a banger and the build should be solid, so I'm can't wait to see how that plays out. Now we get the main event, Rhea Ripley versus Io Sky for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. This match, this is arguably match of the year contender. Like, this match was amazing. This match was damn near perfect. Like, this match was amazing. Like, I can't even fathom how good this match was. I am still in shock of how great this match is. I knew this match was going to be a banger, but I did not expect this match to be this great. Like, this match was absolutely amazing. I'm just going to really skip towards the end. It was a moment where the referee, it was a ref bump. Rhea Ripley goes for the riptide. The ref is not there. She gets frustrated because she had the match won. Then she starts fighting Io Sky in the crowd. It was a moment where Io gets the upper hand. And then in the crowd, Io Sky hops on like 3 crates. It was like 3 crates stacked on each other. She hops on it and then dives off the crates onto Rhea Ripley, which was completely insane. That was a very sick spot. Then we get towards the end of the match where Io Sky ends up doing a Spanish fly. Both women are laid out on the ground. Then you get Naomi comes out with her briefcase. She cashes in her Money in the Bank briefcase. She throws Rhea Ripley into the ring post, and then you have her hit her moonsault on Io Sky, picking up the victory, and now she is your new World Heavyweight Champion. I am speechless. I never thought that she would ever cash in on the World Heavyweight Championship. I just didn't think it make no sense. I still don't think it kind of makes sense because where does this go with Jade and Bianca? Because Jade has a match at SummerSlam with Tiffany, but they're still telling the feud of the story of Bianca and Jade. But they're going to be on, because now that she's the World Heavyweight Champion, they're going to be on separate brands now, because Naomi is going to be moved over to Raw. Jade is still on SmackDown, so I don't know how you tell that story unless you're going to do a draft. This is very interesting. This causes a lot of different story elements. Rhea Ripley could potentially turn heel because she did show a little bit of heel elements in this match, especially with her constantly losing championship opportunities. She could definitely use that as motivation to just turn heel. Very interested to see where this story goes. I love the cash in. This was successful, very unpredictable. This was great. I love what they did here. Just very curious to see how these stories are going to mesh well together and how they're going to put this all together, because I don't know how you tell the story with them being on separate brands, even though they don't really care about a brand split, but still very interested to see how that plays out. But bro, this was great. This was an overall amazing pay-per-view. I have no complaints, to be honest. This was the best pay-per-view of the weekend, in my opinion. I know that's going to be a hot take. I know that's going to be very controversial, but this was easily the best pay-per-view of the weekend. But you guys let me know your overall thoughts and opinions down below. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. But yeah, that's it.